Long before scientists were measuring electromagnetic fields or mapping neural pathways, something else was already known about the heart, not as metaphor or poetry, but as a genuine organ of perception, a way of accessing insight that goes beyond analysis. What's striking is how consistent this understanding is across traditions that had no contact with each other, as far as we know. Different languages, different continents, different centuries, and yet many traditions kept arriving at the same place. In Christian mysticism, the heart has long been understood as a place of direct inner experience, not one of beliefs or doctrines, but one that allows a deep listening, a way of receiving truth that doesn't come through argument or reasoning, but through something quieter and more immediate. In this tradition, the heart is where you meet something deeper, where the noise of the thinking mind gives way to a different kind of knowing. The teacher White Eagle described it this way: the heart is the gateway to the soul, and through it, the light of the spirit may be known. What I find compelling about that is the word gateway. The heart's not a symbol or a metaphor. It's an actual threshold, a place you can learn to pass through from the world of analysis and thought into something more direct. The idea is that truth isn't always something you work out. Sometimes it's something you recognize, and your heart is where that recognition happens. In the Andean traditions I've studied, through teachers like Alberto Vallaldo and Marcelo Lopez of the Four Winds Society, there's a concept called Aini. It's often translated as right relationship. It's a living exchange between yourself and the natural world around you. In this understanding, intelligence isn't just located in the mind, it's present throughout the body, and it deepens through relationship with nature, with other people, with life itself. It's what allows you to be in genuine connection rather than just thinking about things from a distance. There's a distinction I keep coming back to from these teachings: the difference between thinking about the truth and recognizing the truth is the mind can take you only so far, and then the heart takes you the rest of the way. In many Native American traditions, knowing is understood as something that comes through presence and deep listening, not through analysis alone. It isn't something you extract. It's something that reveals itself when you're in right relationship. This kind of knowing is relational. It depends on how connected you are. It's rooted in presence and requires you to actually be here. And it deepens through attunement as you become more sensitive to what's being communicated beyond words. That last phrase has always stayed with me: beyond words. Because so much of what the heart communicates doesn't arrive in language. It arrives as a felt sense, a quality, a quiet yes or no. Across many traditions of original peoples around the world, there's a similar understanding that thinking, feeling, sensing, and relating are not separate functions. They're one continuous field of awareness, and our hearts sit at the center of that field. Clarity in this view isn't something you achieve by thinking harder. It's something that becomes available when you're in a different kind of relationship with yourself, with others, with the world. Also, many original nation traditions speak of the times we're living in, times of potential transformation, as also times where danger is present. And they point to the same root cause. Humanity has been governed too long by the mind alone, by analysis, control, and separation. The path back to balance, these teachings say, begins when the mind and the heart learn to work together. Some traditions express it as a journey of 4 inches, the distance from your head to your heart, and they describe it as the most important journey a person can make. I think about that a lot. 4 inches. And for most people, it's a lifetime of not quite making it. What's remarkable is that all these traditions developed independently across the world point to the same possibility, a way of knowing that comes from direct inner experience rather than external information. The understanding has always been there. What's often missing is the practical method, because in many of these traditions, this kind of learning happened through long-term initiations, sometimes years of guidance, practice, and relationship. Most people today don't have access to that. And that's part of what Dialogues with Your Heart is for. It's not a course about adopting a belief system or a particular tradition. It's about learning a process, one that draws on this deep well of wisdom and makes it available in a practical, grounded way. You bring real questions. You learn to listen for responses that come through your heart. And over time, it becomes something you can return to, a way of navigating life that you can actually trust. If this way of listening resonates with you, you're warmly invited to find out more. The link is below.